All right, so we're going to call the Education Subcommittee meeting to order on April 16th at 3 p.m. Um, Thank you all so much for being here. I'll go ahead and review the agenda today. We're going over graduation board policy, overview CTE, ethnic studies, and financial literacy. And then we'll just talk about our future agenda item. So it looks like it just a one item meeting today. Do we have any public comment? Doesn't look like it. I don't have any opening comments, so we'll just jump right into it and I'll turn the meeting over to Dr. Chamberlain.
Okay, so the handouts for today, one of them says at the top policy 6146.1, high school graduation requirements. That's the proposed board policy. The second handout you have that says policy 6146-1, it has highlight high school graduation requirements, and the first paragraph is highlighted. This is a summary of the board policy that I'm going to share that's an overview of the other handout. Are there any questions before I begin? So
The policy and management subcommittee has already looked at this.
they did.
Awesome.
And so what I did is the summary so this is the summary she presented. I wanted to make sure we were in alignment.
Okay.
The highlights are the things that have been updated since the policy committee. And that they were based on our graduation requirements that exceed the state requirement. So are there any questions before I begin?
No.
All right. So board policy 6146.4 is referenced in the board policy 6146.1. It's titled Differential Graduation and Competency Standards for Students with Disabilities. Again, it's referenced in the updated board policy 61461 and will be presented at the next policy committee meeting. And then following that, and it's probably going to be on the same day, the education subcommittee meeting. It wasn't brought to the policy committee meeting previously. So I met with Miss Erdrich and she wanted to present it, and then Ed subcommittee can present it as well if we feel the need for that. So recommended by the school board. So this is board policy that's recommended by the California School Board Association. The new policy state course requirements are 4 courses in English. That's highlighted because we require 4, though the board policy, the lower limit is 3, but our district requires 4 years of English, 9th through 12th grade. We require 3 courses in mathematics, so that the previous one said 2, but we require 3. Those courses are algebra or mathematics 1, and then 3 courses must be completed between grades 9 and 12. 2 courses in science, including biology and physical science. 3 courses in social studies, U.S. history and geography, world history, culture, and geography. 1 semester in American government and civics, and 1 semester in economics. 1 course in visual or performing arts, world language, or career technical education, which we call CTE. 2 courses in physical education. And then contingent on funding, beginning the 29-30 school year, 1 semester course in the ethnic studies. Beginning the 2030-31 school year, a separate standalone 1 semester course in personal finance, and we require 1 health course. So that's in addition. And yeah, these are new. These are new bylaws that were presented February 1st, 2026.
Yeah. I have a question about the PE. Do you want me to wait until the end or can I ask it now?
Yeah, you can.
Okay, for the PE, I know that they usually only have the kids do 1 course if they're an athlete, because then their athletics counts as their other course. Does that need to be stated in here at all?
It does not.
Okay.
We're good. Board adopted courses or requirements may also be added. Exemptions from district adopted graduation requirements for highly mobile students. Highly mobile students means foster youth, students experiencing homelessness, former juvenile court school student, child of a military family, student who is migratory, or a student participating in a newcomer program.
Oh, you covered it all.
Students who transfer into the district anytime after completing the second year of high school, newcomer student who is in third or fourth year of high school. These students shall be exempted from any graduation requirements adopted by the board. This shall not apply if the superintendent or designee makes a finding that the student is reasonably able to complete the additional requirements. Highly mobile students need to be notified of the exemption from local graduation requirements, and if the student qualifies within 30 days of transfer into the school. If a student is not notified, the educational rights holder may request the exemption, and the superintendent or designee shall exempt the student within 30 days of the request. If the superintendent or designee finds that the student can meet the requirements and does not exempt the student within the 30-day calendar days of the start of the next school year, the student will be re-examined to determine if they can still meet the requirements. When student receives an exemption, discussion of how any requirements that are being waived may affect the student's post-secondary education or vocation plans must be discussed. Discussion and information about other options available to the student, including but not limited to a fifth year of high school, possible credit recovery, and any transfer opportunities available through the California community colleges. Consideration of the student's academic data and any other information relevant to making an informed decision on whether to accept the exemption. The district shall not require or request a highly mobile student to transfer schools in order to qualify for an exemption, and shall not grant or request on behalf of a student for a transfer solely to qualify for an exemption. If a highly mobile student is exempted, the exemption may not be revoked. If there is a finding that a highly mobile student is reasonably able to complete district established graduation requirements within the fifth year of high school, the superintendent or designee shall consult with the student and educational rights holder of the opinion or the option to remain in school for a fifth year to complete the graduation requirements, and how that will affect the student's ability to gain admission to a post-secondary educational institution. Consult with and provide information to the student about transfer opportunities available through California community colleges. Upon agreement with student and educational rights holder, permit the student to stay in school for a fifth year to complete the graduation requirements, and for a foster youth or a student who is experiencing homelessness, discuss the option to remain in the student's school of origin. When a highly mobile student is capable of meeting in the fifth year the statewide requirements, the superintendent or designee shall consult with the student and educational rights holder regarding the following: the student's option to remain in school for a fifth year to complete statewide coursework requirements, the effect of waiving the district's established requirements and remaining in school for a fifth year on a student's post-secondary education or vocation plans, and other options available to the student, including but not limited to possible credit recovery and any transfer opportunities available through the California community colleges. The student's academic data and any other information relevant to making an informed decision on whether to accept the exemption and option to remain in school for a fifth year to complete statewide coursework requirements. Information regarding the educational rights of highly mobile students shall be included in the annual uniform complaint procedures notification distributed to students, parents, guardians, employees, and other interested parties. Annually, it shall be reported to the California Department of Education the number of students graduating from the fourth or fifth year of high school who, for the prior year, graduated with an exemption from district established graduation requirements that are in addition to statewide coursework requirements. The next section addresses retroactive diplomas. Any student who completed grade 12 in the 2003-2004 through 2014-2015 school year and met all applicable graduation requirements other than the passage of a high school exit exam shall be granted a high school diploma. The district may retroactively grant high school diplomas to former students who departed California against their will while in grade 12 and did not receive a diploma because the departure interrupted their education. provided they were in good academic standing with when they departed, were interned by order of the federal government during World War II, or honorably discharged veterans of World War II, the Korean War, or the Vietnam War, provided that they enrolled in a school district immediately preceding the internment or military service and did not receive a diploma because their education was interrupted due to internment or military service. Our veterans who entered the military service of the U.S. while in grade 12 and who had satisfactorily completed the first half of the work required for grade 12. Our former members of the military, a resident of California, and received an honorable discharge, or our current members of the military, a resident of California and a resident of California when entering the military. And when in their senior year of high school during the 2019-2020 school year were in good academic standing and on track to graduate at the end of the 2019-2020 school year as of March 1st, 2020, and were unable to complete statewide graduation requirements as a result of the COVID-19 crisis. And the last section addresses honorary diplomas. The board may grant an honorary diploma to an international exchange student who has not completed the course of study ordinarily required for graduation and who is returning to the student's home country following the completion of one academic school year in the district, or a student who is terminally ill. The next part for our agenda was to answer some questions and to provide some information regarding CTE, ethnic studies, and financial literacy. Before I present this, are there any questions on the graduation requirements? I know that was a lot.
I don't have any questions. My questions were going to be about the CTE, ethnic studies, financial literacy. So I'll see if you answer those when we get there.
Okay, so for CTE, in reference to number 5, so number 5, that's one of the graduation requirements. AAD USD currently meets this requirement. However, it is a new requirement in this new board policy. All pathway and course curriculum for our CTE courses are aligned with the standards and state framework. And pathways are 2-year programs, and they include a concentrator class and a capstone course. Do you want me to cover all 3 first and do questions after, or do you want? Okay, so for ethnic studies, the ethnic studies program is contingent on funding. The state at this point has not funded this. So at this time, this isn't a requirement right now, but we're not moving forward with it until the funding does come through. However, this course is offered through Acellus and is an elective for any student who would like to take it. And then for financial literacy, we will do a review year for the curriculum on year 29-30 with implementation of the program in 2030-2031.
So what brought all of this up was that we had heard that financial literacy was coming to be a state requirement. So as of right now, ethnic studies and financial literacy are not state requirements, correct?
Financial literacy will be required for 2030-2031 graduating students. And
Okay.
and the ethnic studies is not required right now because if you read the bill, it's contingent on funding.
Okay. Those are my questions are when will they be state requirements? Because I know they're not yet. So that's great. I really like that we're getting ahead of the state requirement and that these are available to our students now. So that when we're ready to make it a state requirement, we won't be scrambling to get the curriculum. We're going to already have it and have it be in our schools already and ready to go. So I think that's fantastic.
Yeah, and when our counselors were well aware and it was already in the works, and so
Oh, that's good.
Because we really do have the most fantastic counselors on the planet.
we do.
Well, they're young and motivated.
That is
Um,
up for our meeting today.
So
fantastic.
these updates, some of these they're 20 years in the making.
I don't understand that.
Well, because it was 2005.
Yeah, they just,
That's what I was-
whenever this was updated, which it was just updated in February of this year.
That's what I meant.
The California Yeah, they just really encompassed a long,
I
I
was
mean,
gonna
they
say,
went
that's
all
a
the way
lot.
prior to
Yeah.
COVID, like for the retro diplomas. Yeah,
Yeah.
it really does cover a lot.
Yeah,
Yeah,
20 years worth.
yeah. And then there are some new things when I met with counselors, when we were looking at the new board policy, like we were already doing the CTE, but now it's actually a requirement. Prior it wasn't. So that's actually, so some of these things are new. The CTE was the main one, like, oh, we're doing that already, but it is actually now a state requirement per board policy.
So, well, it's not necessarily a state requirement the way that I'm reading it, right? It could be, it used to just be art or foreign language to graduate, and then art and foreign language um to go on to a four-year university. And now it's art, foreign language, or CTE. Is that,
Yeah, the
or
or
am I reading that
CTE
one?
wasn't there before.
Right, the or CTE part is the new part, which
Right.
is that's very cool. Cool. I like it. Thank you guys for all of the work to update. I appreciate it. So this is going to be on the board agenda for a first read here at the next board meeting and won't be put on for a vote until the following board meeting.
That's correct.
Okay. Are there any other questions?
There are
All
not.
right. So let's go ahead and move on to future agenda items. For future agenda items, let's invite Autumn to come back so that she can discuss the two items that she wanted to discuss.
Yes, I made that agenda already and she's on that agenda.
Beautiful. That's perfect.
Are there any other agenda items?
Let's keep the whole time for Autumn and
Okay.
give her some time too, so that we can discuss what she wants to discuss.
That sounds like
So we'll just keep it to her and that's it. Okay.
Yeah, thank you.
All right, so we'll go ahead and adjourn the meeting if there's nothing else. So the next meeting is May 28th at 4 o'clock. And we'll go ahead and adjourn the meeting at 3:30.
All right, thank you.
Thank you guys so much for being here.
Thank you as well.
All right, bye.
Bye-bye.